warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, I'm Putri Kania and you're watching a special podcast of the Student Council of AL ULUM Junior High School. So today we have two special guests. Could you guys introduce yourself?
Hello, I am Michelle Maryam Karremans. I just go by Michelle.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Dashora Putri. I'm Student Council President in SMP AL ULUM Islamic School Junior High School.
Thank you so much for coming to our podcast. It's so nice for having you two in here. And today, maybe I would like to have a little Q&A with you two.
Okay.
So first, Michelle, would you like to tell us when you arrived here?
Yeah, sure. So I am actually already for some time here in Indonesia. So on the 1st of August, I stepped on the plane and we flew to Shanghai in China, and then we had to wait some hours, and then we flew again to Kuala Lumpur.
Yeah.
It took 1 day to fly completely there, and I stayed there with some of my family members because I also have family there for I think 4 days, and then after that we flew to Aceh. It's like in the point of Sumatra, and there we spent 5 days, and then we took the night bus, and first we went 1 day to Medan, and then 1 day we stayed there, and then that night we drove with another night bus. We went to Pekanbaru, and the day after I immediately came here in school.
So you have a long journey, right? So did you have a nice flight?
Yeah, I had a nice flight. Normally, if you fly over a certain amount of hours, you have a screen in front of you in the seat. And normally the games also work, but they didn't work, so that was kind of sad. But yeah, I had still movies, so it's fine.
Okay. So you enjoy it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. By the way, how often you visited Indonesia? And maybe is this your first time coming here in Pekanbaru?
No, it's not. For us, it's a tradition to go every 3 years to Indonesia. And the first time I went was when I was 1, and then when I was 4, and then I was 7, and then COVID interrupted. And wait, I don't know, maybe. But COVID interrupted, and now it's the first time after COVID that I'm here again. And every time we go, we also go to Pekanbaru because I have also family here, and we also want to visit them since it's 3 years because since we have seen them.
Okay, so it's been a long time.
Yes, it is.
After it's a long time you're not coming here, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about Pekanbaru? Or maybe the people or the views?
So it's like completely different. No, not completely. It's quite different from what I am used to. I think first of all, it's mostly because we don't have the same climate. So you have completely different plants than that we have, and trees, and we don't have them. So it already looks different. Also, the traffic is also differently organized. It's more chaotic than it is in Netherlands.
So almost all of them is different, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you maybe experience any culture shock?
Since I went here already sometimes, it's not that big anymore. But this time when I was here, I noticed that there was like the hello sign on even on toothpaste and on all candies and chips and everything. And it's kind of weird for me because normally in the Netherlands I cannot find them, and I will have to look for vegan candy if I want to have candy, or I have to look if there is no gelatin in it, or it has to specify that it's like cow gelatin. And yeah, so it's completely weird to see it that they also put it on toothpaste because I didn't even know that it existed.
Okay, so you must look back to the condiments.
Mm-hmm.
So is that all? Any culture different that you find?
No, not exactly. I think I yeah, I was also shocked by the traffic because it's completely different. It's quite chaotic here, and there are a lot more motorcycles that are going around, and they just try to go in front of everyone, but they also let you go in front of you, so that's fine. But in the Netherlands, it's more like we stay away, like 3 meters from each other or something. And sometimes when I'm here in the car, I think like, oh, that's really close, because they come really close. In the Netherlands, you would like, honk at somebody if they try to go in front of you. But here it's just fine; they just let you go in front of you.
Yeah. So that's all cultural difference you find. And how about you, Dasha? What do you think about Indonesian culture?
Indonesian have many cultures, so I think the one example is batik. I'm so proud of batik as Indonesian culture.
Okay, that's great. Talking about culture, what is your guys' favorite traditional food from each country and region?
From like my own country.
Yeah.
Okay. So we don't really have really special foods. It's more that we just get the food from other countries, or there are people that are from that country that they just make it and sell it. And so it's normal for us if you say like, oh, today we eat Chinese, or today we eat Italian. You know, we don't really have a traditional. Yeah, it's called stamppot, and it's like mashed potatoes and then with vegetables through it. And then normally like a sausage or a meatball next to it. And I think it's called stamppot because stamp it means like stomp or mash. So and it's mashed potatoes.
It's mashed potatoes.
Yeah, and I think the Netherlands is more known for smaller things like if we look at food, it's more like cheese, you know. But yeah, the French also claim that cheese is there, so I'm not really sure what it is.
Okay.
But we also have like we call it frikandelbroodje, and it's like bread, and inside of it it's like a sort of sausage, but it's deep fried. I don't know how. Yeah, it's kind of weird, but it tastes good.
Okay. So that's your favorite traditional food. But for me personally, I really like Aceh noodles, or you could call it mie Aceh. And as a name implies, it is from Aceh. You thought that you go to Aceh, right? So Aceh is my family. Where's my family come from?
Ah.
Okay. What about you, Dasha? What's your
I like sate Madura. It's from Madura.
Okay. But that sounds great of you. Okay. We have to talk about traditional food. How about food from school canteen? Maybe that's school canteen. What is your favorite one?
We do have a school canteen, but if I compare it to this canteen, it's very expensive. Like here you have the drinks. It's like 4,000, I think.
The teh bottle one.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, it's 3.
Oh, 3,000 is even cheaper. And for us, something like that would be, I think, 32,000.
That's quite different.
And it is just €1 is to 16,000, and something like that would be €2. So yeah. And also like the food also in the cafeteria is ranges around from €1 to €2, so it's around from 16,000 until 32,000. I think it's very expensive, but yeah, normally we also take food from home. But if you forgot, you could take there. Well, you could take something there, and also the things in the vending machine are also expensive. Yeah, it's just expensive.
Oh, it's different from Malaysia where everything is, you would say, cheaper.
Yeah.
What about you, Malaysia?
I like lontong.
Lontong is a great one. Have you already tasted lontong?
Yes, I did. We also have it at home because my mom, she likes it too, so she sometimes makes it.
Okay. Well, the food's over, and so our school is quite various, right? Still about school matter. What lesson is your favorite one?
I do not really like school, so I don't really like the subjects. But if I have to choose, I think it's art because I'm quite good at it, if I say so myself. But it's more that I don't like the teacher there. He's kind of weird. Like we went to vacation and then he noticed, he saw like, oh, you are you Indonesian or half, you know? And I was like, yes. And then every time he something like not even close comes to it, he's like, oh yeah, and then he looks at me and I'm like, okay, that's not related to me, you know. So
it's maybe a little bit annoying.
yeah, and also we have like 3 hours for that, and then one of the hours is art history, and it's very boring.
So you like the lesson, but you don't like the teacher.
Yes.
Okay. What about you?
I like English because my childhood dreams is I want to study in Australia or American or USA. And yeah, I like English because of that.
Well, personally for me, I really like math because I feel satisfied after successfully answering the math problem. So that's why. And how often did you study that lesson a week?
Again, I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
How often did you study that lesson a week? The lesson that was your favorite.
Oh, art we have 3 hours in a week, so yeah, 3 hours in a week.
What about you?
8 hours maybe.
Oh, this is a long time. Maybe math, I think it's like 2 or 4 hours. I don't really remember. And how long is you guys' school hours a day?
You first. It's okay.
Okay, so our school system is different than here, and also the times. So are the times. We start at, if we have special hours, like the day is divided in hours, and sometimes they say, oh, you have to come in the second hour or in the fourth hour, maybe in the first hour. If it's the first hour, then it's 10 past 8, and then until the last hour, I think it's 10, it's the 8th hour, and then it's like, I think it ends 10 before 4? Or 10 before 5, I'm not sure. I think 4, 10 before 4, yeah.
Okay. Is it every student have their different times or everyone has the same?
Because we are now in the, I think you would call it the senior high school.
Yeah.
Because we are now there, we have, we call it clusters, and then you just have your own schedule, but you have the same lesson with the same class. So if you have English with a certain person, you are there. But if you have, Dutch with not with that person, you also don't. You have Dutch with not with that person, and then when it's time to go to the next lesson, we just walk through each other, and then you go to your lesson, and everybody that has that lesson goes there.
Okay. Is it maybe a boarding school?
No, it's not.
No. We have the same school.
We have the same school. It's 10 hours in a day.
Yeah,
Right.
10 hours. Okay. Now, last question, Michelle. I can see here that you are fluent in English. English is really spoken in Netherlands, and English is maybe the first or the second or worst language in Dutch.
No, it's not. I follow a special education way in my school because my school offers it. Not every school does that, but my school does it. And it's a special, I don't know how you say it. It's a special way of learning because they do every subject you have, you get taught by somebody from England, or and they speak English to you. So I have all my classes in English except for other languages, because you can't really learn another language in English. That's quite difficult. but we stopped doing that. We only have now we only have 5 lessons from the 13, I think, that still are in English. But I also now we mixed because we went to the senior school. We mixed with other classes that did not get that education. So most of the classes are now in Dutch.
So is it hard for you for the first time when you try to talk English?
Yeah, of course. I started learning English I think 5 years ago, because then I came on the middle school. I think it's junior high school. Yeah, it's different, so it's kind of. So it's junior high school, and I was really bad at English because I didn't have it in primary school. Or elementary, I don't know if that's the same, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I thought I really could speak English because I knew what the word window was, but I couldn't. I was really bad.
Yeah, it's just the same with me. I learned English in tutoring, so it's kind of hard for the first time because I have no one to talk English to. So. I never practiced it before, so I sometimes forgot the words.
But your English is good.
It's tutoring called Kumon.
Oh, come on. Yeah, I know. But I never went there.
Yeah, there's a math in there too. Okay. Thank you for answering my question, Michelle. And what do you think of the use of English in Indonesia?
I think in Indonesia there is still a lack of use of English because not many people use it in daily conversation.
I agree with you, Dasha. As a student, I think we should dare to practice our English every day. Well, Dasha and Michelle, I'm very pleased to have a chance to talk with you both. And thanks a lot for your time. I really appreciate it. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Michelle, by the way, could you say goodbye in Indonesia?
I'm not sure, but I think there's 2 ways to say it. One is I think see you. I think you say sampai jumpa. I'm not sure.
Yes.
I'm sorry if my accent is horrible, but it's fine. And I also thought selamat tinggal.
Yeah, that's right. That's good, right? Great. Now you can speak. You could say goodbye in Indonesia. And could you teach us how to say goodbye in Dutch?
Yeah, sure. In Dutch we say tot ziens.
Tot ziens.
Tot ziens.
Did I pronounce it right?
It's like tot, and that's like one word, and then the second word is ziens.
Tot ziens.
Yeah, tot ziens.
Great. So we're going to say goodbye in different language. So I'm going to say it in English, and you're going to say Indonesia, and then she will say it in Dutch. Okay? Are you guys ready? But let me close this podcast first. Thank you for watching our small talk, everyone. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Okay. Goodbye.
Selamat tinggal.
Tot ziens.
Bye.